Hello and welcome back to the channel, those of you who've been here before. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Darren. This is Homes Away and I'm out in the Brecon Beacons once again. Finally getting out for another camp. It's been way too long and I'm just heading along the Beacons Way from the Story Arms car park. The plan today is to head up towards Fan Llia. Don't know whether or not we'll camp at the top. Might come down a little bit off the summit, depending on weather. There are thunderstorms in the forecast, and apparently there's a few rumbles of thunder over the coast, according to my wife. I say we because I'm joined by this is Theo.
Hello, hello.
He's my wife's cousin and long-time subscriber to the channel.
Why?
So yeah. He's over from Tenerife. He lives over there, and we've said for years that we'll go out for a camp together. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go out to Tenerife and do a camp out there, so he's going to have to make do with the Beacons, I think. But yeah, we've got dry weather at the minute. There's been a couple of little spots of rain.
Our wind's just stopped now, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a little bit blowy on the way up, but I'll give you an example now where, well, we're not that high up, but I'll give you a bit of a panorama. You've got Pen y Fan, Condi, Fan Fawr, then you've got Fan Llia behind us there, over to Fan Gyrich, can't remember.
Helm.
And then Command and Van's at a distance over there. So once again, I mean, I pick so many different places in the Beacons to camp, but the amount of places you can view the entire ridge line along the north escarpment of the Beacons is incredible. You get 360 views anywhere you go here, so it's well worth a trip if you haven't been before.
Oh, it's got to be done.
So as some of you know, I always like to camp somewhere different. Always in and around the Beacons mostly. It's my local jaunt. But this one's a new one on me. Like I said, we're heading towards Fan Llia. I think maybe we might end up a little bit lower down on Fan Dringath. All depends really on where we can find the best pitch. The wind was forecast to be around about 15 to 18 mile an hour with gusts of 25. With any luck we'll stay out the worst of it. The more observant you will notice that I've got my really small pack on, my 25 litre technicals bag. That's because Theo's using my Talon 44 and I didn't really fancy packing up my 70 litre Osprey ether to come up here, so I've got everything I need in mine. Theo's got the cooking stuff and the food as well as his camping gear in his, but I figured even though he's heavier in pack weight, it would be kinder to give him the Osprey just because it's a comfier pack, because my back is absolutely ringing with this bag, and yeah, it's you can definitely see the difference in the quality of a bag over you know, a cheap alternative to something a bit more premium like the Talon. It also means because Theo's over from Tenerife, he hasn't got any gear at all, so he's using all my gear inside the bag as well. So he's going to be in my Zephyros one, I'm going to be in the Helm one. Not sure who's going to have my Thermarest mat yet, even though Theo's the guest. I may nick that for myself just for the comfort of it. He has brought thermos with him to sleep in because he's used to far warmer temperatures in Tenerife, and I'm going to sleep basically in this, so I might steal the Thermarest, I'm not too sure yet. But we're both carrying a few beers, which I haven't had on a camp for a long time. I'm not sure, it might have even been last summer since I last actually took a beer out on a a camp, so I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully the weather stays dry. It's not sunny, but it is really, really warm. But you've got, I mean, look at that sky over there. It is absolutely phenomenal. So as long as it stays dry, we can sit outside. It's warm enough that we haven't got to wrap up that much either. And
be nice to cool down.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, it's been a warm walk in. It's 22 degrees when I left the car, and we've been walking for just over an hour, just nearly 4 miles we've done. So yeah, it's definitely going to be beers deserved when we get to camp. We may even crack one open before we set the tent up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, sunset's not going to be for another 2 hours, unbelievably.
And you'll be going to the shop later on to get more.
Yeah, yeah, I'll nip into Brecon, get a slab. Yeah, the last time I went camping, I think sunset was just after 4 o'clock. So it's been a while and a wee bit different weather since I was last out. Just, in fact, over there, there's on Pen y Fan in the snow. That's how long it's been since I've been under canvas. But I've got to admit, it's way overdue. I've been really busy outside of the internet, but that's for another time. Right now, we're heading up to Fan Llia and see whether it's worth pushing on further to go up Fan Llia and find a pitch for the night. And then it makes it look all arty.
Put in your instrument.
And then you ignore the fact that the camera's there. And it's like the viewer is watching you. It's all a lie, really. Absolute sham. That is spectacular. The way the light catches the mountains in the foreground there. Absolutely phenomenal. Theo's enjoying it. Are they going up on Instagram? No, I'll leave his Instagram handle somewhere, but you can take a look. I'm always rubbish for taking photos of while I'm out. I'm too busy videoing and trying to think of what to say. I always end up waffling, like now. So we've just hit the summit of Fan Llia and we've got an unbelievable view. Two sides of a coin, really. Absolutely spectacular that way, and it is very, very dark and mysterious that way. Now, like I said earlier, all the way along the coast in front of where we are at the minute, it's been raining and had some massive thunderstorms. So we've been exceedingly lucky up here that we've been just on the edge of the clouds. We've had sunshine, but it has been hidden behind this stuff a little bit of the way. But it's starting to break a lot now, which is absolutely amazing considering we've got, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes before we start looking for a pitch. We've got to the highest point of the day, Fan Llia. I never know if it's Fan Llia or Fan Llia. I don't know. I'm gonna say Llia, but I can't remember how many meters it is. I'll put it on the screen. Although weirdly, the cairn isn't here at the highest point. The cairn is a little bit further down there, so we're still going to go and touch the cairn, but then we're going to come back up here. We've already seen a few spots along the way that we might be able to get a couple of tents in, but the wind is definitely stronger up here. The forecast was sort of 15 to 18 mile an hour, and I'd say that's pretty much bang on. Definitely gusts of 20 to 25 again. Pretty much exactly what they said, which is unusual for a forecast in Britain, to be honest, but we'll take it. We're prepared. Both the tents we're in will easily cope with that type of wind, and it does die off. So even if we do end up pitching in the worst of it tonight, then we will be rewarded in the morning either way with what should be a spectacular sunrise coming from over that way behind Pen y Fan. Like I said, we'll touch the trig and I'll bring you back when we've found a spot to set the tents up. I'm sorry, but we started without you. It was a case of bags off and we had to get the beers open and enjoy this. It's absolutely amazing the way the sky is changing. But it looks like it's getting clearer. The sun is coming this way. So that should mean a cracking sunset and a cracking sunrise. We've still got an hour and a half, well, about an hour and 20 minutes before sunset. But we're probably going to get the tents up before then anyway. Nobody's going to be up here anyway at this sort of time, so it makes no difference. And then for food, I've brought the last of my adventure food meals. I got a pasta bolognese and a pasta carbonara, and I have brought something that he doesn't know about as a little treat for dessert, so I'll show you that a little bit later on. But for now, we'll sink these, and then we'll get the tent set up. Cheers, mate. Cheers. So on the way up here, Theo asked me how long it takes to pitch my tent. I said, oh, less than 5 minutes. And he was quite surprised by that fact. But then I remembered I brought both tents with me, my Zephyros and my Helm 1. So I'm going to set myself a bit of a challenge, see which one I can pitch the fastest, because I've never actually compared the two against each other. I'm going to start with the Zephyros. Now I'll probably end up doing this as a bit of a time lapse, but just a little bit of an experiment to see the difference, really. See if I can remember how to pitch this for starters. It's been a while. Amazing how light these poles are as well. I suppose that's the good thing with these single hoop designs. They're really lightweight. I think this weighs around about 300 grams less than my Helm 1. And that's almost entirely to do with the poles. Oh, I forgot how easy this was to set up. This really is a great tent. Now they don't actually make these anymore. They've just recently updated their 2025 line at Terranova. I think, can't remember which one they've replaced this with now. I think it's the Helm, I'm not sure. But either way, it's a great tent. And stop. Not too bad actually, but I reckon the Helm 1 could just about pip it. We'll have a look. Right, so time for the Helm 1. And this has got 2 poles as opposed to 1. So we'll see whether or not that hinders me. Although actually, come to think of it, the Zephyros technically has 3 poles, because it's got one at either end. So we'll see. Let's go. Again, Terranova have updated this for the 2025 season, although they've not kind of renamed it like they've done with the Zephyros. You can still buy the Helm, but you can also buy the Helm Elite, which I think the only difference is the materials are a little bit lighter. I don't think there's any difference in the seasons. It's not a like a 4-season tent or anything like that. But it's one of those things that I have been racking my brains as to why they would sell a Helm 1 and then a Helm 1 Elite when you could just make the Elite, the normal Helm 1 as the updated version, and make it lighter. Because I think the normal Helm ones, other than the colour, is exactly the same. Not too sure though, I haven't looked into it massively. But I don't know, is it just a marketing thing? We'll see. Do you know what? I think the Helm 1 just about takes it. Pretty close though. They both look good though, don't they? They look absolutely superb. We've got hardly a breath of wind. Unbelievably, it's just died right off. The biggest issue is finding a pitch up here. There's loads of places, but they're almost right on the path, really. The way, I mean, you can see the way the mountain goes. It's the path right up the middle, and everything else is either falling that way or falling that way. But like I said earlier, there's nobody up here, so it doesn't really matter. I could have pitched right on the path if I wanted to, I suppose. You never know if anyone's going to be trekking up here. I mean, it was about 3 in the morning in the snow, pitch black on Pen y Fan, and I heard voices walking past the tent, so there's always going to be the risk of another idiot up here at the same time as you are. So I'm not going to go through any kind of kit lists today or anything like that. Regular viewers, you'll know the gear I've got, and I've brought it all because the two of us are camping, so I've got pretty much 2 of everything, so everything's come with me. The only thing that is slightly different from the norm is this, which is a pillow that I bought up in the Outdoor Expo. This is the first camp I've been on since then. Jesus, that was in March. Now, this is from Exped. It's the Ultra Pillow medium version for those keeping score, but it was just a little bit thicker than my old pillow, so I wanted to try it out for a bit of comfort. My old pillow is brilliant, and it's really comfy. It's got a lovely sort of felt lining on the outside, but it's a little bit thin, and I like my pillows a little bit soft as well, so I leave a little bit of air out of it, and I end up dropping down a bit too far. So I always end up either propping up with my arm or propping up with my coat or something underneath it. So I thought I'd give that a try. So tonight's it's maiden voyage. I'm going to pump up this Vango mat, but I might steal the Thermarest off Theo. Like I said earlier, he's got thermals, so I don't know. Now normally I'd say don't blow up your mats, because The old adage about there being moisture inside and there being mould inside your mat over the years. But I watched a video a while back, I think it was Hayes Outdoors. He cut open one of his old mats. Might have even been a Thermarest, can't remember. But it was one that he had been blowing up with his breath for years. And there was nothing in there, there was no mould or anything. So this, considering it's a 3/4 length mat, it only takes 10 breaths maybe to pump it up. So I might as well. My Thermarest comes with a pump sack, so I'm still going to use that. But yeah, I don't know whether or not there is any truth to this whole mouldy air mats if you're going to blow them up. Theo's just asked where the entrance to the tent is. I don't know, I think the title of this video might become Camping with a Complete Novice. Oh, there you go, he did find it. Let's see if he can work out the door.
I know.
Which, on the Zephyros, is a little bit notorious. So this will be interesting.
Wow, look at that. That's you, isn't it?
You find out how to pin the outer door back yet?
Huh?
How do you roll up the outer door so it's out of your way?
Oh, no. Oh, inside.
No.
Yep.
No. No.
No.
I could be a real prick and not tell him, but like I said, this thing is notorious. And I'm hoping with the redesign that Darren Over have done on these tents, they fix this problem. I haven't had a look actually on whichever one. Like I say, I can't remember the version they've done this year that replaces the Zephyros, but I really hope they've sorted that door out. So for those that haven't paid attention before, 2 little bits of Velcro, put them together to tie the door together, and then a little buckle on the end and a buckle inside there. What an advert for Darren Over he is. Right, so we're all set up and all gears in, sleeping bags and mats are up and everything like that. We're probably going to just about miss a sunrise because there's still a little bit of cloud coverage over there. No airs and graces tonight. It's going to be adventure food, pasta bolognese for me and pasta carbonara for Theo. I have brought, like I said earlier, a little bit of a treat for dessert. I'm going to do some raspberry puddings. I'm going to steam them in my titanium cup one at a time. But that's for later. I'll give you the obligatory lighting the stove shot. I'm going to have to start thinking of inventive ways of lighting the stove. Whether that's a fancy lighter or doing it upside down or through my legs or something. I'll tell you what, I'll give Theo the honours on this video, shall I? There we go. Come on, wrap it up.
Oh, push it that way.
Yeah, all the way, go on. There you go, see? Something different every time. So, the pot I've brought is only my smaller titanium pot, which means that I haven't got enough room to boil enough water for both meals. So I'm just going to boil Theo's up first, stick his in the pouch, leave that then to soak and cook. and then I'll do mine separately. There's no rush, let's face it, we got all the time in the world. I was going to bring my windbreaker.
You have like a little metal thing, don't you?
Yeah. But I thought if the wind was that bad, then we would have been in our tent anyway. So I would have just popped
On the side.
like in the porch of my tent and then brought it over. So yeah, that could be all. And I give Theo the honour to turn it off as well. See? We'll make a wild camper out of him yet. I tell you what, I'm glad I brought these. It shows how little I use these things nowadays. This is dated best before the 6th of July this year. Now, if you buy these normally, you've got about 3 years on the dates to use them by. So you can see that I don't really use these a lot. Now, the next video I'm doing after this one, I am going to talk a little bit about these things, as well as other things that are a little bit of a waste of money when it comes to wild camping. So, like I said, I won't go into too much of it now, but if you want to see it, make sure you subscribe. Click down below. If you're enjoying the video so far, like the video. Anyone who knows Theo, his bar in Tenerife is called The Bar. So if you're ever in Tenerife, go and visit Theo and tell him Darren sent you to give you 10% off. So my food is cooking as well, but I just picked up, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up really, but the sun is red, and I mean blood red, and it's just peeking underneath the clouds over there. I'll see if I can get a photo on my phone if it doesn't come out that well on the GoPro. In fact, let me see if I can zoom it in. That is absolutely incredible. I've never seen the sun that colour before. Right, so as you can see, we are getting really dark now, but I've got dessert to make. So, I'll pierce some holes in the top of these. These are literally just little puddings. These are little microwavable puddings you can buy in any shops really. I think I got these little. But I'm going to put a little bit of water in my pot and just basically steam them for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Doesn't need to be that long, just enough to heat them up really. And hopefully we'll end up with some lovely raspberry puddings. So the idea is pop the lid on and steam that for a couple of minutes just to warm it through and see how it goes. So Theo's is cooked. He's going to
Steam coming off then.
give it a test run. Don't know if you can make the steam out, but looks alright.
Yeah. Lovely. Warmer on the bottom.
There we go. I think we'll say that worked then. Good?
Bang it.
There we go. Can't wait for mine now. It's been in there for, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Struggled to keep it boiling, to be honest, because I forgot to bring a windbreak for the stove, so the stove did struggle a little bit because the wind's picked up again. But let's try it. Oh, that is good, isn't it? Oh yeah. That is an absolute win. I just picked these up on a whim when I went shopping earlier today. I'm really glad I did now. And just get the last bits of light as well. You're not going to see it, it's behind you. But just the last few glimpses of colour in the sky. There's a few stars out already. So I think I'm definitely going to try and do a bit of a time lapse when I go to bed. I'll leave the GoPro out for a few hours, see what I can get. This is a dark sky area, designated dark sky area in the UK. So, considering how clear it is, should be absolutely amazing tonight. So we've just got into the tent. It's just gone 10:30 and the wind has started to pick up a little bit, and it was getting a little bit cold, if I'm honest, out there. I didn't bring any thermos or anything like that, so I'm still in my shorts, although I did bring my my down jacket, which I haven't brought myself to take off yet, but I will do probably once I'm in the sleeping bag. So yeah, hopefully we'll get that sunrise in the morning and get a good night's sleep in between. But for now, unless anything magical or tragical, what do they say? Drastic or fantastic? All them different sayings. If anything like that happens, I'll see you. If not, I'll catch you in the morning.
Well, good morning. Time is 10 to 6, so I think I'm just about in good time to see the sun coming up over the mountains to the east. Oh, slept not bad, not great. This isn't my sleeping bag, so it is a little bit small for me, but it was good enough to last the night. My top half was pretty much kept warm by my jacket. Pillow was nice, so it's nice having had a little bit higher up. So I think that's a win. But let's have a peek outside and see what it's like. Wow. So still as well. The wind, I picked up quite a bit actually after I went to bed early hours of the morning. It really picked up. It's absolutely stunning. Let's get up, shall we? Let's have a walk around. Tell you what, it's quite fresh actually. Temperatures were forecast to be 8 degrees with a wind chill of 4. I think it's probably a little bit below that right now, but it's still warm enough to be out in shorts at least. But look at those views. This is why we do it. Not sure what the birds are. There's a lot of birds around. There were really early this morning, and can see them diving down into the grass. They're obviously ground nesting, but I'm not a twitcher by any means, so I don't know what they are. Don't know if you can hear them. Seems to be loads of them, especially when I first woke up, kind of just before the sun came up. They were everywhere. I could hear them right outside the tent almost. So like I said, I had a good night's sleep, on and off as usual for me when I'm out. Didn't sleep all the way through. I did put a a time lapse on the GoPro last night. I don't know how it came out. If it was any good, you would have seen it by now already. But I did peek out. I think it was around about 2:30 in the morning, not too sure. And the moon was rising, and it was just bright orange. So I don't know how the night lapse will come out. I don't know if it'll spoil it at all. But like I said, you would have seen by now anyway. I think I'm going to check on Theo if he's up, and get a coffee on. I'm definitely regretting not bringing a windbreaker for that thing. It's not a particularly strong breeze, but it's just constant, and it's just enough to take the heat away. Oh, that's nice. Oh. These colours are just absolutely amazing. It's only just about 6:30 in the morning, so it feels too early almost to be packing up, but I think we probably will get off fairly early-ish. Maybe another half hour or so before we start taking the tents down. We're going to go a slightly different way back. It's a little bit shorter. We cut out a lot. So yesterday we came around and sort of up over that ridge in the distance and then up here. But we're going to drop down a little bit more into the valley and cut across over the river at the bottom. Just because I don't like really using the same way down as I did up. I always like to try and create some kind of loop if I can, so we'll try and head down there. We'll see how successful it is. I've never done this section of the Beacons before. Like I said yesterday, I always try and come somewhere new every time I come out. As per usual, I like to get out and find a quiet spot somewhere. And we haven't seen a soul since we left the car yesterday, so with any luck it'll be the same on the way back. Fair play to Theo, look at him, he already knows the score. Leave no trace. What is it? It's not ours, is it? Alright. Take it with. Even if it's not yours, if you find it, take it home. So that's us all packed up. Like I said, leave no trace other than a couple of little flat bits of grass. No one knows who we're here. Right, we're gonna get down off here over Fan Llia and then drop down to the river and see if we can pick up a path. I can see a path over the other side, so we'll see if we can pick that up in a little bit. So as you can see behind me, we've dropped right down off the other side of Fan Llia and just following sheep tracks really. There's a path we can see over the other side. It looks like we might have a bit of a river crossing at some point, but it's not had too much rain up here for a while. Maybe a couple of days worth in the last month, 6 weeks or so. It's been so dry the start of the year already for, well, most of Britain really, but that's technically a river crossing, but
the big ones further on. You're probably not going to see it because of the glare of the sun, but I'm going to follow this path along, round over the other side of that dip is a river that runs down and feeds the reservoir at the bottom of the valley here. Can't quite see it yet. You can see it from the top, but it will come into view pretty quickly, I think. There's me literally just saying about we've only got one river crossing and come across this. Ah, it's stunning. Oh, there's a nice little pool at the bottom as well. Don't know how deep it is, but I bet when this is flowing, that'll be a nice place to dip. What an absolute gem that is. Just trying to imagine what that would be like at full flow. That plunge pool at the bottom. Absolutely stunning. Already glad we came this way. It's things like that, see, when you stick into the sort of main paths that you're never going to end up seeing. There you go. You can just see the reservoir coming into view now. So you should get a lovely view all the way to the end of that in a little bit. But first, river crossing number 2. Oh, this is tough going. It's quite muddy and boggy underfoot along this path. You can see where we've come from up there, and we come down, followed the path around, getting lovely view right down the gullet of the reservoir. So I think we are nearly to the top of this little climb out of the valley. Should be pretty flat going along the bottom edge of Fan Llia then. But yeah, like I said, this is quite tough, although we are motoring, to be fair. We've just done a lot of off-piste hiking to cut a little bit of time off a journey, but it was so boggy, and the legs are a little bit sapped now, and Theo's got wet feet because he's only got trainers on. So I did tell him to go outdoors to buy a pair of boots, and he asked me what go outdoors was, so shows how long he's lived in Tenerife for.
Sorry.
But we are just coming over the top now into the valley we started in. You got Fan Llia there, obviously Condy and Penavan, unmistakable there. You got Fan Llia in the distance behind us where we've come from. So we haven't got that long to go back to the car. So I figured, seeing as this is the last point we're going to see camp from, I might as well sign off here. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a like. Theo, have you enjoyed it?
Oh, incredible. Absolutely beautiful. It's good to come home and actually experience home. You know what I mean?
How long have you living up there for now?
8 years now.
There
8
you
years.
go. 8 years, so I will plan a trip at some point to go out and see him. He has done a little bit of camping out in Tenerife, but the rules are a little bit different out there.
Yeah,
he said it's more controlled, sort of designated areas you can do it, and there is still wild campers about, he said, but it's a lot stricter. But I mean, the scenery out there is going to be so much more spectacular. He's got
the rock from the volcano. You can see where it's made the land, literally.
Yeah, so I've been to Tenerife a couple of times myself, so but not since Theo's been out there. So yeah, like I said, at some point there will be a video on the channel. It might be this year, next year, the year after, I have no idea, but I will get out there at some point to trek with him. But like I said, if you enjoyed it, give the video a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see any more trips like this of me waffling nonsense into the camera while I'm under a tent. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Lovely. See?
Skip back.
Well, yeah. Doesn't have to be serious all the time, does it? See? I might actually leave that in.